What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Maverick Raven coming at you with another video. I can't believe we're at this again, you guys. It's November 24th. Now, obviously, nothing is going to get called on the weekend. No election is going to get called on Saturday or Sunday. I mean, it probably has happened in our history, but it's not the norm by any stretch of the imagination. So, we are still waiting on some pretty important things because of how close the 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 gap has become, especially since you've got people, you've got Democrats that are doing stuff like in PA where they're saying we'll count illegal votes regardless of what our Supreme Court says. This isn't me. This is straight up. This is what Bucks County is doing or was doing. And then the lady apologized and all that. And we've talked about it on the show. But before we get into this is a couple of races, congressional races that still have yet to be decided, that have been going kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we're gonna get into this. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All of that stuff really helps out the channel. Gives me a nice little dopamine hit, little attaboy, you know what I mean? And all that feels good, you know? So come join us, guys. We'd love to have you be the newest member of the flock. The flock's for life. So come on, we'd love to have you. The air is for everyone. Now, excuse me. The advantage that the Republicans have been holding over the Democrats in the House, especially the House of Representatives, has been deteriorating. They had an advantage at one point of at least 12, and it's gone down to like 10, then 9, and now I think it's at 8. I'm not even sure. As a matter of fact, maybe I should Google that. Let's see. As you can see, I had to Google GFBF. Let's see, GOP advantage in House of, there we go. See, this is from Bloomberg. This is 4 days ago. So 8. So we're down to 8. Oh, so bad, so bad, so bad. We're down to 8. All right, guys, let's check this out. 2 key congressional races still uncalled in California. Although the Republican Party secured a unified Republican government in the 2024 election, several races remain too close to call, including 2 in California. Now, obviously, we want those bigger margins for 2 reasons, okay? Unless you're like a super, cover your ears, yell, shut up until you're blue in the face type of Democrat that doesn't care what Donald Trump doesn't care if he's a lame duck president, doesn't care if he can't get any legislation through. By definition, he wouldn't be a lame duck president because he got a supermajority. However, if the majority is not big enough, so it gets to a point where people, if 1 or 2 people break off, that's it, you lose the majority. Now you're screwed because there's no such thing as pleasing everyone all the time. There's no such thing as pleasing everyone even a little bit of the time. But when you want to please all of these all these Republican senators and congressmen, for every bill that you need to have signed, it won't work. It just won't. It won't. So we need to have the biggest lead, the biggest gap, so that the supermajority actually means something, so we can actually have a conservative government. And again, I've said this before, Donald Trump is not even that conservative of a person, of a politician. He was literally the first president that went into the White House advocating for freaking gay marriage. Obama was not, on board with gay marriage before his first term. He wasn't. He just wasn't. Anyways, this says, Republicans have secured a trifecta in the November general election, taking control of the Oval House, the House, and the Senate. And while the presidential election was quickly decided, with the race being called for former President Donald Trump early on November 6th. The winners in several congressional races have yet to be determined. Two of the uncalled races are located in California. It says District 13, Duarte versus Gray. Republican incumbent Rep. John Duarte leads his opponent, former Democratic State Assemblyman Adam Gray, in the hotly contested 13th Congressional District in the Central Valley by just 203 votes. Talk about pucker factor. Talk about every vote counting. Talk about scary stuff for the Republicans. Talk about, like, you know, the Democrats hanging their hopes on this and hoping that the Hail Mary, you know, works. And we'll see, man. 203 votes is nothing. It's really nothing. Especially, I don't know if District 13 is highly congested with population. But yeah, you guys, like, it's something else. And that's as of the Friday night update at 8 p.m. So, obviously, 11 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. Not a lot of room, about a day and a half or so. Day and a half, yeah. A day and a third at this point, let's say. Because it's, you know, Sunday morning. But yeah, so it's bad, you guys. On November 11th, Duarte held 51.3% of the vote over Gray, who was trailing with 48.7%. Gray, however, has closed the gap. The vote is now split at 50% each. It is, however, Duarte, I feel so strange speaking like fluent English, trying not to throw any what we call in Miami Spanglish. I'm trying to so hard to not throw any Spanglish, right, and just make it sure, you know, plain English. But the guy's name is Hispanic and or Latino or both, you know. Well, that's what the and or comes from wherever, but you get the point. So like it's hard for me to keep going. Oh yeah. English, Duarte, English. It'd be much easier to say Duarte. His name is John Duarte. How do I sound, guys? Do I sound Cuban at all? Come on, be honest. John Duarte. I'll take my mimosas on the yacht deck, please. Bet you I don't sound like I'm white at all. Right, guys? You racists. Take it easy, guys. I'm your friendly neighborhood minority here. I would never call you guys racist. Anyways, so check this out. So this is Duarte. This is Duarte here. And, oh wait, that's another thing that I want to show you guys. But this right here is Duarte. And he leads by how many votes? By 204 votes. It says 204 votes, and it's 98% called in this district. Oh, so scary. Scary! 204. Yeah, 204. That's not good, you guys. That's not good. So yeah, so now it's at 50-50. Well, not quite. We're winning by a very small, infinitesimally small margin. It says in 2022, the two faced each other in a midterm election decided by 564 votes, with Duarte securing the win. So these guys have gone at it before, and it's like grudge match, the revenge, you know what I mean? And they're going at it again, and now the margin is even smaller. And it might even become smaller than it is. So, can you imagine? It says Duarte, a businessman and pistachio farmer. Oh, that's not something that you hear about all the time. He's a pistachio farmer. I love pistachios when they're shelled. I don't know. I like shelling it, but then it's like, oh, I'm tired of shelling it after like the 15th pistachio. Because pistachios are a nice snack, bro. You want extra snacks, you know? So my damn rabbit's here. He snuck in. Has served District 13, located west of Fresno, since January 2023. He has sponsored a pretty good Republican agenda. If you look at the issues, I haven't looked into it, but just off of face value, it looks like a pretty good, typical run of the mill America First Republican agenda. He was running on a platform. He sponsored congressional bills such as border security and immigration reform. Uh, I'm sorry, the Border Security and Immigration Reform Act while in office. Wasn't that the bad one that Kamala Harris kept trying to take credit for, and how Donald Trump killed it and all this other crap, even though it was loaded with pork and included like 3,000 illegal immigrants a day could go through, which is insane to me. You're basically giving amnesty to 3,000 illegal immigrants every day. That's insane. That's if you go by just that, which it won't, because the illegal immigration would not stop just because you're allowing 300,000. I'm sorry, 3,000 in a day. You're still talking about over 1 million illegal immigrants a year. That's crazy. You can't. That's why the damn bill was killed. Anyways, he promises to combat the high cost of living, protect the Central Valley's water and farms, and prioritize safe communities. Not bad. Gray has also served in the California State Assembly, representing the 21st Assembly District from 2012 to 2022. He supported access to affordable health care, job creation, education, public safety, and protecting the region's water. So there is a little bit of overlap there on the water. Interesting. Whereas he prioritizes safe communities, which might be code. So anyways, it says the AP estimates that 98% of the vote has been called in this race, has been counted in this race. Now, District 45. Now, this unfortunately is the other way, and it's the bad way, guys. It's the bad way. It's leaning towards a Democrat victory at this time. It's not a wrap yet, but it's looking like it's going to be a wrap for the Democrats on this seat. So it's District 45, Steele versus Tran. Votes are also still being counted in District 45, which is located in both Orange and Los Angeles counties. Republican incumbent Rep. Michelle Steele now trails. Damn, she's the incumbent too. That sucks. That's really bad. Now trails with 49.9% of the votes, while Democrat Derek Tran took a slim lead with 50.1%. The margin of difference is just 519 votes as of Friday evening. We're going to check that out, man, because that is scary. Let's see where. Here we go. Because this one got voted in. Okay, so this is the race right here. This is 45, right? Yeah, 45. 99% voted. 99% reported in by, according to the AP, to the Associated Press. And it says Derek Tran is winning by. Excuse me. Ugh. All this freaking facial hair. I guess I gotta make my wife happy and trim my beard a little bit more. I don't want to though, man. I'm so lazy. Anyways, so 118 plus 427, so that's 545. 545, right? 118. I'm sorry. 118. 545. Yeah. 545. And what did they say it was at? Oh. They said it was at 519. So it's only getting worse. Sad face. That sucks, you guys. That really sucks. I mean, it's California, but still, you want as many House seats as you can, even if it's the House seats in California. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you? Steele was first elected to the House in 2020, a businesswoman and one of the first Korean American women elected to Congress. She says she prioritizes job creation, addressing high crime, tax reduction, securing the border, caring for veterans, solving the homelessness crisis, and making healthcare and prescription drugs affordable. See, that sounds like a very nice actual Republican platform right there. That sounds like a beautiful, beautiful Republican platform. The other one was nice, Mr. Duarte, but not this, man. This is much nicer. Tran, meanwhile, promises again just at face value. I don't know. I haven't checked her stuff. But I do notice that even though she's one of the first elected Korean American women to Congress, you know, I'd never heard of her, and that's not something that we're like, oh, she's one of the first Korean American women elected to Congress, because that's not, we don't dwell on identity politics. That's not a plus or a minus. That's just something that kind of flavors who you are as a person. You know, you're not Cuban. You're not. Sorry, you're not from the Bahamas. You're Korean. Hey, flavor. That's not who you are. It's a flavor, right? I keep saying flavor. It's an aspect of who you are, but it's not the entire picture. It might be a color used in the picture, you know, if it's a painting or whatever. But you get what I'm trying to say. I think you caught that little fat ass running. There you are. There's that little bunny. He wants to be in the video too. Dude, they're such sketch animals, but this one's like, he forgets that he's a prey animal. And he chases me and my daughter down the hallways trying to trip us. Oh, he's funny, man. He's cute. He's like a dog. Anyways, Tran, meanwhile, promises to preserve the Social Security and Medicare funding, increase funding for education, fight discrimination against the LGBT. Oh my lord, the eye roll. Now it's a serious eye roll. I was eye rolling on the one before that just because of the fact that you can throw all the money you want at education. It hasn't worked. You don't believe me? That's fine. Don't ever take what anybody says. Not me, not even your parents. Your parents, they mean well. Or at least most at least most of our parents mean well, right? But you should always fact check everything, okay? Fact check me on this, okay? They have been throwing money, more money, consistently at this problem for decades. The problem with us having lower and lower educational standards, and obviously we're scoring worse and worse and worse. And they've been throwing money at the problem. Money does not fix a broken system. Getting rid of the broken system fixes a broken system. Reforming radically a broken system fixes broken systems. Well, sometimes, obviously, you can reform it, you know, make it worse, but you get what I'm saying, you know? The point is, if you're working within the confines of this broken thing, no matter how much money you want to put into it, it's always going to be broken. It's always going to not work. So that's why you got to figure... sorry guys, you got to figure out that there's at some point enough is enough. You've tried it your way, let's try it some other way. But not the Democrats. Democrats want to throw money at every problem, and then they want to talk about the deficit. That's why I laugh, you know, because they want to spend money on stuff that has less importance to our safety as Americans, to our quality of life as Americans, and more money on being nice and sensitive and fragile to how people feel. And I hate that shit. Oh my goodness, do I hate that shit. Guys, life is not about feelings, man. Like, look, I wish... I know a lot of leftists aren't going to believe this, but in all honesty, I don't wish leftists... I rag on you guys a lot. I don't wish any harm for you guys. I don't even wish you guys ill. Even though I find it hilarious when leftists rage and they throw their hysterics and, you know, they get into their histrionics, I don't, that's not something that I would prefer. I'd prefer you guys just be normal human beings with normal reactions to things, but you guys want to, you know, make TikTok videos where you record yourselves driving and screaming and going like this on the damn freaking steering wheel. Right? And I'm sure you guys have seen the videos because they're everywhere. Tend to be women, tend to be younger women. Women that, you know, probably are overstating their importance. And, you know, they're doing all sorts of things, man, that they shouldn't be doing. And I'll leave it at that before I get called a sexist, which I will be called a sexist eventually anyways, so it doesn't even matter when it happens again. So LGBT, immigrant, and minority communities. See, this is what I'm talking about. Fight discrimination against LGBT, immigrant, and minority communities, and protect abortion access. So they're dying to protect the Fabergé eggs of society, which we're not. Minorities are not Fabergé eggs. I don't care who you are. Okay? You're not a Fabergé egg. No one is. Grow a sack. And I mean that to anyone and everyone. If you're a lady and you're complaining about men checking you out at the gym or whatever as an example, sweetheart, grow a sack. You might be misunderstanding the entire situation. So just grow a metaphorical sack and you'll be fine. Because it's much better that you just say, oh, that guy might have been looking at me. And you just go on with your day and not let it ruin it. Than you let yourself get mad about it all day. Or worse, you call him on it and then the guy's like, listen here, you dumbass. I was just looking at my buddy who's in the other side of the gym. That's why I was looking in your direction. Happens. Has happened a lot. Especially on those videos. You know, the ones I'm talking about, the ones where the woman has to set up the camera and she's like purposely, you know, like baiting people. Like, come on, man. So yeah, so it says the Associated Press estimated 98% of the ballots have also been counted in District 45. Now it says the results of both elections will be certified no later than December 13th. December 13th is a what? December 13th is a Friday. December 13th is a Friday. 13th. Friday the 13th. Another one? Didn't we just have one? Well, whatever. So that's on that. And then I found this one here. This still hasn't been called. And it's another nail biter, you guys. This one's from Iowa, District 1. And it says 99% of the race has been called. It's not, you know, it hasn't been called official yet. Marionette, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name correct. It's so many repeating letters. But Marionette Miller Meeks, Triple M, they call her. M3, they call her. She's winning right now by 800 votes. So, and she's the incumbent. So when stuff like that happens, that's good because she's winning and she's supposed to be winning because she's the incumbent. So she's supposed to be more, you know, these are all just rule of thumb things, guys. So the rule of thumb here would be that the incumbent is better known in her area. So obviously she's going to get voted for you know, just based on name recognition. Again, I will be recommending this movie until the day I die. Distinguished Gentleman by Eddie Murphy. You guys want to see stuff like that? Look it up. Look at that movie. Eddie Murphy, not to spoil the plot on a 30-something or 40-something-year-old movie, but Eddie Murphy gets freaking elected just based on name recognition alone. And you know what? It is exactly like that. So check that out. But that's the video, you guys. Other than that, it's Sunday Fun Day. I got an eager rabbit I gotta let loose out of the nest because rabbits don't belong in nests. They belong in burrows and warrens and all that. But yeah. As always, please feel free to comment down below and contact me or what have you. You got my email there. You got my Twitter. You got my email, my Twitter, whatever, and my comment stuff there. Oh, and of course my Discord server. So anything you guys want to do, just go ahead and do that. And I'll try to get back to you guys as quickly as possible. I try to read all of them. I almost always do, unless YouTube kind of screws me and doesn't give me any notifications, which it hasn't been doing lately. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not big enough for there to be a conspiracy. I just don't know why it's doing that. Maybe I'm shadow banned for all I know because of something I said, 6 months ago. But anyways, love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate it. And as always, you guys, stay safe and stay based.